Hey, I'm Casey Okubi with Free Speech Northwest, and right now I want to work on a new sort of segment. It's I judge you, and I like to take people who I think are needing of some judgment. Maybe they're judgmental, so I'm going to judge them back. So today, Riley Dennis. I don't know if you're familiar with Riley Dennis. Riley Dennis is judging some Harry Potter movie, so I'm going to judge Riley Dennis's judging. So let's go ahead and proceed with that, please.
Hey everyone, today we're talking about the recent news that in the Harry Potter universe, Voldemort's snake Nagini is now canonically an Asian woman. I know that sounds fake, but that's actually what J.K. Rowling confirmed. So first let's go over how we got here, and then we can talk about why this decision is such a mess.
Okay, hold on, can we pause it? Okay, why this decision is such a mess. Who cares? Who cares if an Asian is a snake or something? I don't care. Like, Asians can be anything they put their mind to. I mean, there are Asians that are doctors. There are homeless Asians. I think Asians should get to be snakes in movies. You know, there are Asian superheroes. Whatever. Who cares? It's not a tragedy. It's not something that you need to stress out about until you're told that you need to stress out about it. This girl, this actress, is probably like, yes, I made it into a Harry Potter movie. This is so cool. And then now Riley's saying, wait, no, that's some kind of weird failure, twist, SJW problem. It's actually not good because you're seen negatively because you're like this villain's slave snake thing. And it's like, just get over it. All right, let's continue. Please.
For a lot of folks, this movie series has already been put in the trash because of their decision to have Depp in a starring role, among some other reasons. One of those is that Yates said that Dumbledore's sexual orientation wouldn't be explicitly discussed in Crimes of Grindelwald, which makes no sense because after J.K. Rowling retroactively made Dumbledore gay to score representation points without actually including that representation, she said that Dumbledore had fallen in love with Grindelwald, and although those feelings weren't reciprocated, Grindelwald used them to his advantage. So the fact that Dumbledore fell in love
can we hold on a second? I'm thinking about the fact that, you know, they're saying like to gain points, she made Dumbledore gay or whatever. And then like how that's a big problem because it doesn't show a lot of homosexuality in the movie or whatever. So they use it to score points, but then they didn't utilize the homosexuality. I'm straight and I never have straight sex on the show at all. So, I mean, you don't have to like overemphasize something all the time just because you are it. Like, I'm all kinds of different things aside from my sexuality. Like, I like to do art projects. I don't do them everywhere I go all the time. It doesn't matter. You don't have to wear your orientations on your sleeve in order to be validated or valid. So, I don't care. Please continue.
Grindelwald seems like a pretty vital plot point for this entire thing, since Fantastic Beasts is exploring the time period leading up to Dumbledore's huge fight with Grindelwald in 1945, and this movie literally has Grindelwald in the title. There's also the fact that the main Fantastic Beasts cast is just really white. The whole Harry Potter series is about inclusivity, but the movies almost entirely starred white people, with people of color getting disappointed.
Please. Thank you. Let me see. The Harry Potter series is full of them darn yucky old white people. Stop focusing on, like, race or skin color or any of that stuff. It doesn't matter. Like, it shouldn't ever matter. It should never be, like, you know, focused on in anything. Like, J.K. Rowling is a white person, and, you know, there are people like the movie Black Panther, that was full of black people. I don't have a problem with that. I think that's cool. That's great. Whatever. But this overemphasis trying to find problems where there's not problems, there are all sorts of races in all the Harry Potter movies. And when a creator creates something and a director directs something, you should probably just shut up and let them do whatever their art is. And you don't have to look for every fake problem that's not really a problem. There are all kinds of movies made by all kinds of nationalities, and they don't all have white people, and I don't care. Like, who cares? Who cares what color anybody is? It's weird. Things should be organic. They should be the vision of the creator. It should all happen organically, and when it doesn't, you're a dummy. Like, just do whatever you want to do. Like, when you're making a representation of something, you have a picture in your brain, and it's whatever's in your brain, and your brain's not wrong about it. So shut up. Anyway, please continue.
Background roles like Cho Chang or the Patel twins. The whole Muggle-born and mudblood thing is a pretty obvious racial analogy, with the purebloods echoing Nazi ideology, but the movies never go so far as to actually include real people of color in prominent roles. It's like they can only talk about racial equality in terms of metaphors, but never address it outright. Fantastic Beasts was a chance for them to fix that, to include people of color in major roles. And then they didn't. There's the president of MAC.
Okay, pause it, please. That's not true. There are people of color in major roles. There are white people in some roles, and then there's this person that we're seeing on the screen now. They're in a major role. Every person has a flesh tone and flesh color. So to say there aren't people of color, like, I don't know. I guess that means specifically black people or Mexican people or something. I don't know. Is that what she envisioned when she made the script and made the movie and all this other stuff? Like, that matters. Whatever you make, you get to do it. And if someone's judging you, they're a jerk. If someone's judging you for the way you envision your script, if something doesn't feel organic to you and you're making something, and then somebody says, that's wrong because that's not how I think the world should work, shut up, you're dumb. Please continue. Thank you.
Fina Pickery, who's played by a black woman, but that's about it. The creators of Fantastic Beasts could have done better. If they were striving for historical accuracy, New York City was a diverse place even in the 20s. The Harlem Renaissance was even going on. Plus, this story is fiction. If a secret wizarding world isn't out of the question, then I don't think people of color in leading roles should be out of the question either. This stuff is made up. You could add more people of color if you actually cared about giving people of color that representation. Harry Potter fans who are women often talk about how Hermione inspired them and showed them that they could do great things. It's sad that the continuation of the Harry Potter series in Fantastic Beasts isn't doing the same thing for people of color. And that brings us to the most recent announcement, adding on to the pile of reasons why many of us won't be seeing The Crimes of Grindelwald. And that is, J.K. Rowling has said that Nagini, Voldemort's evil snake who is a Horcrux and eats people, is actually an Asian woman who is transformed into a snake because of a blood curse. This sounds like a joke. I really thought this was a joke when I first heard it. Like, after J.K. Rowling retroactively said Dumbledore was gay, it's been kind of a recurring joke that she's just going to start retroactively claiming different identities were already in Harry Potter. A popular post went around joking about how she was.
You know what? Can we hold on a second? This is a weird example of people who are like, we'll use the term social justice warrior, or people who are trying to find these minority groups and trying to advocate for them as though they can't advocate for themselves. But you know, Riley obviously is advocating for transgender people and clearly people of color. But J.K. Rowling is also advocating for like all the same things. And right now Riley's trying to tear that person apart. And it's kind of weird and ironic when these people who have these same sort of topics or issues that are so super important to them, they start to eat each other alive. And it's like there's blood in the water, and I don't know. I don't know if they're bored or they're seeking something. They're just really seeking out something to be mad about. When J.K. Rowling is a huge advocate for all of the same divisionist garbage that everyone else is. Like, you should find a good actor and put them in a good role. Color doesn't have to factor in. I'm not thinking only white people. You should find any good actor of any kind, put him in a good role if it's organic to that role, if it's natural to that role, if it's natural to the writer or the creator or whatever, the director, I don't know, casting director. You probably shouldn't find people that have similar ideologies to yourself and try to eat them and destroy them the way Riley's trying to do that to J.K. Rowling that made Dumbledore gay. So good for them. Anyways, please continue.
A bunch of other random stuff. I 100% thought this was another one of those jokes. Nagini was actually an Asian woman is exactly the kind of retconning that Harry Potter fans have been making fun of J.K. Rowling for so long. I almost feel like she saw us making
Okay, hold on a
jokes
second,
and
please.
said, fuck it, I'm gonna do it. Like when you tell someone they're being...
I don't think Harry Potter fans are making fun of J.K. Rowling for doing all these different things. I don't think they're actually doing that. Real Harry Potter fans are probably going, I love Harry Potter, yay, another movie. I think that this very minute, teeny tiny little facet, little micro group that hears that they're supposed to be uproarious and angry about something because Riley tells them, here's an issue to be mad about, I think maybe they do what they're told through social media, through, I don't know, Twitter, whatever the problematic social media groups are. They're like, I was told I'm supposed to be angry about this. So Riley said it. Riley's a good, virtuous person. I don't think so. I think Riley's judgmental and weird and kind of a jerk. That's what I think. But, yeah, I don't think, I don't know. Just go ahead. Let's keep going.
Loud, and they go, oh, I'm not being loud, but I can be. And then they start yelling. It's like that. I doubt it happened like that, but I wouldn't be surprised. Anyway, you might be wondering why I think this is such a mess if I was just saying that the Fantastic Beasts universe needs more people of color. And the reason for that is that people of color shouldn't only be villains. You send a pretty racist message when your good guys are white people and your bad guys
Okay, hold on
are
a second,
people of
please.
color.
They're not. You're lying. So... people of color are not always bad guys. A lot of times they're good guys. So when you hear that they're always bad guys, that's a lie. You're being lied to. All right, let's continue.
It's not that people of color can never be villains, but you should also have people of color as protagonists. Don't just have one token villain of color. Have enough people of color in your cast that there can be heroic and evil characters of color.
Okay, hold on
But
a second,
top of
please.
That, Nagini...
Have enough people of color in your cast. What's the right number? What's the exact number that would make Riley satisfied? We need a percentage. We need the exact number. And then people who give a crap about satisfying specifically Riley can put that exact percentage in there. But if you do care about satisfying Riley, you're probably stupid too. All right, let's continue.
She isn't even the villain, she's the villain's property, or even possibly his accomplice or slave. So like the one Asian woman in this whole series is just a snake who is controlled by Voldemort, the dude who's a literal Nazi allegory. That's not the representation any of us were talking about. We were talking about like having Newt be a person of color, or some of his friends, or some of the people who help him. Not Voldemort's snake. Nobody wanted this. And across the internet I've seen tons of people amazed at how ridiculous this move is. Because yes, include more people of color. We would all love to see that actress, Claudia Kim, in a different role in the movie. She's a great actress, and I don't think any of this is her fault. I think it's the fault of everyone who made this a thing in the first place. I mean, why is the only major Asian woman the snake of the villain? I just can't believe nobody involved in this process.
Hold on a second. Can we pause it for a minute? I just wanted to reiterate. No one who was writing the story knew exactly who Riley wanted the Asian to be. I mean, obviously, probably the star or the second lead. Only a good guy can never be a bad guy. Like I said, Asians can be anything they put their mind to. They can be doctors. They can be murderers. They can be a masseuse. They can be, they can do karate, you know? They can be anything they want, except good drivers. I'm kidding. There might be 3 or 4. Oh, yeah. Just go ahead. Keep going. Sorry.
I'm white, so
I got cut
don't
off.
only take my word for this stuff. Search for Nagini on Twitter and see what people of color, and especially Asian women, are saying. Please listen to them about this stuff. I'll never be able to explain it as well as they could because that's not my personal experience. I'll also link some tweets and articles below that you should check out for more info. My video
let's pause
really
it for a
should
minute,
be where you
please.
get all your information about this from. I'm just
Riley makes a really good point. Talk to all the Asians you know and ask how they feel about being a snake in Harry Potter. because they're all snakes in Harry Potter, and they've did this before with Asian people about like these anime movies. I forget what it was, and they were all like, "Cool, we're in Harry Potter. Awesome, yeah, that's great. I didn't know we were in Harry Potter. Thank you, America." No, just ask anyone, how they feel about like. Why don't you ask a white person how they feel about being Voldemort? They'll go, "What are you talking about? I don't care. You're weird." All right, let's finish, please.
Hoping to introduce you to it so that you can go learn from those who know more than me. So, Nagini being a human has a lot of weird implications too. It kind of seems like Rowling didn't think this through. She says that she's been keeping this secret for 20 years, but I don't think anyone believes that, because if so, she wrote some wild stuff for Nagini knowing that she was a human. Like, Nagini bit Arthur Weasley in the Ministry of Magic and nearly killed him. She killed Snape. She ate Charity Burbage, the professor of Muggle studies. So she was a cannibal? And she did Voldemort's bidding because why? And on top of all of that, remember that Neville beheaded her at the end of Deathly Hallows, killing her. So when Neville thought he was killing
Let's pause it for a minute. Riley kept saying a bunch of stuff, and it's starting to just get obnoxious and weird and annoying and stupid. So I'm just going to stop here. I'm going to stop here. I'm going to judge Riley for being dumb. You're dumb, Riley. You're stupid. Your thing is weird. You're judgmental. And by your thing, it's just like, I don't know. You talk for all these people, but they're not talking for themselves. I think if you do talk to an Asian person, they'll go, "Cool, yeah, we're a snake in Harry Potter. What are you talking about? All right, whatever. It's cool. We're in Harry Potter. Awesome. We made the cut." They don't care. People don't care. I'm part Filipino, and it's like, where are all the Filipino people? I'm pissed. Where are all the Filipino stars in every single movie? I want the next huge Hollywood movie to be 90% Filipinos. I think that'd be fair. I think that'd be right. All right. Well, anyway, hey, this was my I Judge You segment, and thanks for joining me. All right.